Oh, hey guys, what are you doing under the hood of the C10? I think today what we're going to do something a little different. First, I'm going to welcome back to Burning Rubber Garage, and then I'm going to do 5 things I don't like about my C10. And it was very hard to come up with these 5 things. So let's go ahead and go down the list. All right, guys, number 1, and this is probably going to be one of those lists that people are going to comment down below. That's really childish, or that's not cool. But you know what? Number 1, my number 1 issue with this C10 is the previous owner. He did so many dumb things to this truck that I'm glad he has receipts for a lot of it, because if he would have done it, I probably wouldn't even have a truck that started. The front held on by zip ties. The seat held in place by vice grips. His telling me that things work, just got to put the fuse in, not the case. The radio fell out the first time I took it for a spin. He didn't know what he was doing, but he didn't want to pay for the little odds and ends, so now I am fixing them. But you know what? You buy an old truck, that's what happens. But if I've got to pick 5 things, that's probably my number 1 complaint is the previous owner. If he watches this, sorry man, you did pretty good with the truck, but at the same time, anything that I can tell you did wasn't done very good. You don't put a grill on with zip ties. The kit for bolts is less than 20 bucks shipped. Come on, man. Seat held in place with vice grips. Really? Come on. Get a new seat bracket, fix that. Tail lights weren't even hooked up. Front lights don't work, so I've had to fix a lot of little odds and ends, and I haven't been doing a lot of it on camera. I'm going to try and start. He just didn't do it. Told me there was a blower motor in there. There's no blower motor. All I had to do is put a fuse in, he said. There's no blower motor. You can't have a blower motor work even if there's a fuse or not. A lot of these come back to me. I should have checked the truck closer. Honestly though, I still feel like I got a good deal. I was well below low book on it, and this truck right here, man, I tell you, I love the truck. Don't get me wrong. The 5 things I hate is really tough for me to do, but at the same time, there's a few things I'm not impressed with. So truck's freaking awesome. Wouldn't trade it for anything. So let's move on to number 2. All right, guys, my number 2 complaint, lack of efficiency. And that comes down to carburetor, which I was told was brand new, and it is not, and no overdrive. I know they didn't come with those things, but at the same time, if I got to pick things that I've 5 things I don't like about my truck, number 1 would be carburetor. Number 2, no overdrive. This thing's choke doesn't work, so the colder it gets, the more I'm cranking and trying to get it to fire up there, and then just working with it. So when it's cold, I usually don't take it. Overdrive would just be nice because I'm really running the RPMs up down the road as I go. Here you can kind of see the heater cut. I should have known that it wasn't going to work, but we also leak, so we've got the hose running back to itself. With that, let's move on to number 3. All right, guys, number 3, this one's a big one. My lack of confidence in the truck. With the starting issues, with the choke not working, the way he's put stuff together, I just don't have confidence in this truck unless I've redone it myself. The gauges I've re-hooked up because they weren't hooked up correctly, and I still haven't hooked the volts gauge up, so I'm always leery of that. The way it starts, it has stalled in traffic one time before. That was just an idle adjust issue, nothing too crazy. But my lack of confidence in this truck is what my probably number 3 complaint would be. I took it out the other day. The wiring harness on the back of the headlight just fell off. My brake lights are staying on now. And I know it's an older vehicle, but again, I'm stretching here to find 5 things I don't like because I do love the truck. So with that being said here, it seems like every time I take something out, something else goes wrong with it. I've got to fix something else. Something else needs to be adjusted. Again, I just don't have a lot of confidence in the truck yet. I have had it 8 months, maybe 9 months now. Do I still take it out and about? Yeah, I do. Do I make sure I have a cell phone? Heck yes, I do. So that would be my number 3. All right, so for number 4, it's another one of those, when you buy an old car, you may not get a lot of this stuff, but I'd say my number 4 thing I don't like about my truck would be lack of creature comforts. If the air worked, that would probably help out quite a bit. This one does have power steering that's been fixed now. Does have power brakes. Still need to adjust them a little bit. Just creature comforts, knowing that when I come out here, I'm going to start it up. I can turn the heat and the AC off. Now this truck is not an AC truck, but I was told it just needed a fuse to get the air to blow, and that's just not the case. So again, kind of comes back to number one on the owner. But again, it would be nice to have heated seats, all that stuff. So I mean, I see why a lot of guys are putting a lot of money into their trucks to, you know, add a lot of the creature comfort. So if this is something you want to drive every day, you're gonna have to fix stuff, and you're gonna have to fix stuff often. But again, it would be perfect, and it's one thing I don't like is the lack of creature comforts. Yes, now I've got a stereo in here. I'll get the heater fixed pretty quick. I'll get the gauges fixed. I'll get the headlights fixed. I'll fix the tail lights. It's just a lot of fixing to be able to get it to where it should be. But again, creature comforts would be a huge thing, and I would really, really love heated seats. That's probably one of my favorite things. So with that, we'll move on to number 5. All right, guys, so last but not least, the 5th thing that I don't like about my truck, and it's not really my truck, is the fact that I didn't get one sooner. This right here is a dream come true for me. I've always wanted a step side, single cab, short bed, 67 to 72 truck, and I finally got one. We've got a 350, turbo 400, 12-bolt rear end, headers, MagnaFlow exhaust, power brakes, power steering, new alternator. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on this. We just replaced the battery tray, the battery. I'm gonna work on the heat. There's a lot of things I want to do, but slowly I'm making it my own, which is what you want to do with an old car. This is one of my dream trucks, dream vehicles, if you will, and I've actually had the chance to go out and get it. Not a whole lot better than one of these trucks. They just look mean. They draw attention. People talk about them. It's kind of those the old car thing where people who have had one remember them. People whose parents had one remember them, and not all of them had these type of foose wheels. But this is the biggest regret I had, is I didn't get one sooner, because this is a vehicle that, you know, things could come up and it could get sold, but I do not plan on selling this vehicle anytime soon. In a future video, I'll talk about the things I want to do to it, things I still need to fix on it, and with money allows, things I plan to upgrade on it to make it better and knock off some of these 5 things I don't like. All right, with that, you've had my 5 things I don't like about the truck. I really had to dig for those, and some of them are very nitpicky. It's things that you're going to run into with any old car. Again, as always, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already, please do. I'm going to try and get a little better at bringing you content, even if I don't have something to fix. Videos like this are fun to make. If you can, hit that like button. That really helps the channel out. And also leave a comment if you want. Something you want to see, something you want to see me talk about. Anything like that, just leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. If I suck, tell me I suck. If you swear, it's probably getting deleted. So anyways, with that, I am very lucky to have a truck like this. This is one of my dream trucks. This is just something I've always wanted. Single cab, short bed, step side, just beautiful. 67, 72. I don't think there's a better looking truck out there. There's some really good looking trucks that are close, but I just don't think there's a truck that's better looking, honestly. I mean, look at that. Looks amazing. Again, this is just, I'm very lucky, very fortunate to have something like this. I know it has a lot of things that I'm fixing, but that's the point of a project. A lot of you guys will probably light me up in the comments for the things I picked as a complaint. Well, you can, but it was really hard to make the list. If I had to make a list of 5 things I really like about my truck, which I will probably do down the road, that would be hard to narrow it down to just 5, because I love this truck. But yeah, if you can, hit that like button. And you didn't think I'd leave you without a cold start here, did you? Hey buddy, you want to hold that and kind of aim it at the exhaust right there like that? I'm just going to reach in the window here and fire it up. Gotta love that sound. Can't wait to switch to a Flowmaster. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Oh, hey guys, what are you doing under there, the C10? Is that funny? Is that me? It's stuck like that? You smell that? I don't think that was me. There's no way. Let's try that. What are you laughing at? You recording? Fucking shit my pants, everybody. There we go. So this is a 13.